What's up? You may be asking yourself right now, why does Garrett have a sport jacket on in his YouTube video? And no, the answer is not because I love wearing sport jackets when I make YouTube videos. It's actually because the goal for today's video is to talk about the business side of being a streamer. For me, that's the business side of being a Twitch streamer. And so today we're going to talk about that. I got my business attire ready. I got my Twitch shirt ready. So let's jump into it. And hopefully this stuff will be a help to you as you move forward in your streaming journey. Now, as always, I do want to remind you guys, I do stream live on Twitch at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett almost every day. So if you have any questions about what we're going to talk about in today's video or any of my other videos, you just want to come hang out, chill with us, whatever it is, swing by, let me know in the chat. We'd love to have you. Come drop a follow and join the flock community, which is what we call it on my channel. And we would love, love, love to have you guys over there. Also, if you do have any questions, you can leave them in the comments down below of this video. And I'll get back with you and try to answer those questions or comment back as much as I possibly can. Links for my Twitch channel and all the other stuff that we talk about in this video will be down in the description of this video as well, so keep that in mind. With that being said though, guys, I first want to start this video out talking a little bit about myself and who I am. My name is EagleGarrett on Twitch and on all my other social media platforms. So if you look me up on any of them, you should be able to find me. And on Twitch, I have actually been streaming for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in January of 2020. I've been a full-time content creator and streamer on Twitch for one of those 3 years. The last year I've been doing this, I've been doing it full-time as my primary source of income and support. That gives you hopefully a little bit of perspective of why I'm even talking about this stuff and why I may, know about it in the first place. But with that being said, guys, the first thing you need to do is understand that Twitch is not just going live and streaming, unless that's all you want it to be. If you want it to just be something you do for fun or as a hobby or to do with your friends, then don't worry so much about the business aspect of Twitch in the beginning. Now, if your Twitch starts blowing up and you realize, hey, I actually want to do this as a career, that's where some of this business stuff we're going to talk about today really comes into play. Let's say that you have decided that being a Twitch streamer for you is one of your biggest goals is to go full-time, be a career streamer. Well, the first thing you need to do is set that goal. So the fact that you're already thinking in that vein, the fact that you're already thinking that way means that you've already kind of started setting some mental goals for yourself, but define what those goals are. Now, streaming starts out differently for everyone, and it doesn't mean that you have to start out saying, I want to be a career like the biggest streamer or whatever. You don't have to start out that way. For me, my goals have changed as I've gone through my journey as a streamer. For me, that looks like this. I started out streaming just to try it out and see if I liked it. But later on, I decided I liked it and I wanted to continue to do it. And my next goal was just to figure out if the stream could support itself or whether I was gonna have to work a full-time job just to be able to support the stream. And then after that, our next goal became, I want the stream, I want to go full-time. I want the stream to be able to not only support itself, but to be my main source of income and support in my life, right? And so my goals adjusted over time. So for yourself, you need to start setting goals. And even if you've never streamed a day in your life, if you're watching this and you're saying, I'm thinking about streaming, that's great. You can do this now instead of kind of having to fumble around and figure it out in the beginning like I did. Set some goals, decide. What's my first initial goal? If you've never streamed before, make your goal just trying it out for a few weeks or maybe a couple of months and see if you like it. If you discover that you do like it, set an attainable goal for your next goal, something that you think you can hit. It's a little bit up there, but not crazy. Don't just say, hey, I want to be the biggest streamer on Twitch that's ever lived. Don't make that your #1 goal. You can have that as a long-term, way down the line goal, but make your next goal and your next focus, I want the stream to sustain itself, or I want to, be able to do a giveaway once a month, or whatever your goal is. Set that goal. Once you start getting to that goal and achieving that goal, then go to the next goal. The reality though is that this process is going to be different for everyone. Everyone's going to have a different experience and a different journey. It took me 3 years to get to the place I am right now, but it also took 2 solid years before I even was able to consider doing it as a full-time career, doing it as a full-time thing. We have an amazing community, and one of my main goals was to build a really awesome community. I love the fact that Twitch is such community oriented, that you can get on here and meet people from all over the world and run into the most amazing people you've ever met, make a bunch of awesome friends, and build a strong, solid community. And that's what one of my big things the entire time I've been streaming is I wanted to be a community focused streamer. Now, once you've set your goals, let's say that you've decided I want to be a full-time career streamer. That's what I want to do. My ultimate long-term goal is to do that, and I want to invest everything I have into streaming. If you've come to that place, the next thing that we need to figure out is, what is the definition of being full-time? There's a lot of, opinions about this. People have talked about this before. What does it mean to really be a full-time streamer and things like that? But I'll tell you what the real definition of being a full-time streamer is. It's not just streaming 40 hours a week. A lot of people think if I stream 40 hours a week, it means I'm full-time. But that's wrong, because you could stream 40 hours a week and not produce enough support through that 40 hours to support yourself, to pay your bills, or to be able to sustain spending all of your time live on Twitch. So it's not wrapped up in just hours you spend streaming. There are some people that stream less hours than I do and actually pull in more support than I do. There are other people that stream way more hours than I do and pull in less support than I do. So for everybody, it's different. But the idea of being a full-time streamer is not spending a certain number of hours being live, and that's what determines the fact that you're full-time. Being full-time means that your stream is now your main source of income and support for you, and you're investing your time and energy, therefore, into the stream. And most of the time, people spend more hours streaming if they're able to be full-time, because you have the time available to do that. Keep that in mind, and look at the fact that, like, to be a full-time streamer or a full-time content creator, then it means that you're spending all your time doing that and not trying to hold a 40-hour-a-week full-time job as well. That's the definition of full-time, in my opinion. Now, if you disagree, you can let me know in the comments. If you think, hey, it's only based on hours or whatever, we can have that conversation. But in my opinion, it's more based on the fact that you're able to, generate enough support to sustain yourself and what you're doing here on the internet. Now we need to move into the finances and money portion of streaming. And this is really where we dig into the business side of being a streamer. A lot of streamers don't think through this initially, or it's something that they have to learn through, let's say, mistakes that they've made or things like that. We're going to talk about them here on the stream because, I think with the few people that are talking about them, it's a huge help. I found it to be a big help with people that I've heard talk about this in the past. So hopefully you guys will find this helpful as well. But when it comes to money and finances, a stream is much like a small business. And you have to look at it that way. At the very, very core, a stream is going to operate the same way a business would as far as money is concerned. What that means is, let's say that you've gone full-time and you're now going to be a full-time streamer. It means you figured out a few things that are 100% crucial to actually make that truth. One of them is, and one of the big things that people need to know is, if I want to go full-time, when do I know that it's the right time to do that? Like, when is the right time to go full-time? And there's a simple answer for that. If you're making enough money to cover all of your expenses to live and all of your bills and things like that, plus on top of that, you're making enough money to where if you pay taxes, you'd still have enough to cover your expenses, you now are in a good position to go full-time. And it doesn't mean that you do this for 1 month. It means that you do this for an extended period of time, month after month after month, for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, before you can consider the fact that you may be ready to go full-time. A lot of streamers get in trouble because throughout the year, they have all this income coming in or all this support coming in from their stream. And so they buy new monitors and they buy a new PC and they buy some new controllers or whatever. And then at the end of the year, they find out, oh snap, like I'm doing my taxes, which is, that's its own video right there. I'm doing my taxes and I don't have enough money in my account left to pay for all the taxes I owe on the money that I brought in through my stream during the year. The reality is that you need to take 30%, 25 to 30% of whatever you make and set it aside. Don't touch it. It doesn't exist. It's out of your mind. Because at the end of the year, whether 30% is too much or not, you need to have enough money ready to go where when you have to pay so much money in taxes, you can pay it, and it's not like a drastic just hit you out of left field. You had no idea it was coming, and I don't even have the money to cover it situations. Set aside 20 or 30%. After you've set aside 20 or 30% of your monthly support that's coming through your stream, if you still have enough money left to pay for all of your bills and all of your expenses, then technically you're in a position where you could go full-time. That is a signal that you're in a place where you could become a full-time streamer or content creator. Now, the caveat being that you need to be able to do this and replicate this for at least 3 months, I would say. And if you see that there's a trend after 3 months of consistent support coming in, a consistent level that would allow you to put aside tax money and pay for all of your expenses, now we're talking about in the realms of going full-time. Another thing that I would say though is that I would encourage you in the time leading up to where you get to that place to be saving money and saving enough money to where you could pay at least 3 months of expenses before you would have to start thinking about finding it. Like, let's say everything went wrong, you went full-time and it did not work out the way that you thought it might. You would need to have 3 months at least worth of money saved up to cover all of your expenses. So that would be 3 months worth of expenses all put into an account to the side that you could pull from, which means when you get started going full-time, if you have a rough month or you don't quite make enough like you thought you would, you have money to help cover that and sustain this full-time journey. A lot of people make the mistake of they'll say, okay, I'm gonna go full-time. They'll quit their job, not have any savings, and now they're totally reliant on their stream to produce enough for them to survive every month. And that kind of pressure not only will drive you crazy and stress you out, but it also puts a lot of pressure on your community that is just not good to have. So that's why I say having at least 3 months worth of your expenses saved up, because then if you do have a rough month or two, you've got some money to help supplement that. Another thing to think about is the fact that streaming is an investment up front. Just like any other business or any other organization that you're gonna start, investing up front is almost solely going to be dependent on either you or investors. Now, in businesses, a lot of times people can go out and find other people who are willing to invest in their company or their organization. For streamers, the reality is that we are our own investors. So we're gonna put up the money for our stream. When it starts out, when I started out, I had a full-time job and I was saving money and I was using that money to invest into equipment for my stream, to invest into the ability to get overlays or make overlays, to invest my time. I was investing everything into my stream. So after a year of being on Twitch, I made a grand total of $25 for my entire first year streaming on Twitch. I streamed for an entire year, made 25 bucks. Now, people are gonna be like, dude, you spent a whole year working on your stream and you made 25 bucks, that was it? And I would say yes, but no. After I had invested all of my own money and all of my time and money that was coming into the stream from support, I invested all of that into growing the stream, buying equipment that I needed, things like that. I had a grand total of $25 left at the end of the year. And I actually had to invest a lot of my own money initially into the stream to even get to the place where I had any other money coming in to invest in other products. One of the things that we got as a stream, the stream helped me with this, was this chair back here. So that was a big goal that we met as a community that meant a lot to me, but also that was early on in the stream. So after things like the chair, after things like another monitor or a gaming keyboard, when I was using originally just a gaming laptop keyboard that was on the laptop, like things like that took my own money, and it also took any of the support that had come into the stream. For the very first year of streaming, all of the income that came into the stream went back into the stream. So everyone knew in my community that, hey, if we support or if we give in any way, that money's all going back in directly to enhancing the stream. And they believed in what we were doing, so they wanted to help invest in the stream. And it's a constant process, but as you grow, there will be growth with that process as well, with that support that comes in. Now, with that being said, I want you guys to know that there's no rush and there's no time frame for when all of this will happen. The only rush that will be there is if you have a goal and you put time limits on your goal, or you say, I want to hit something by a certain time, or whatever it may be. But the reality is that things are going to happen differently for each person. Each person is going to have a different experience. And so I want to encourage you guys, one, not to get impatient, but two, to set those goals so that you can be working towards something, and know that every time you have a great stream or every time you have a not so great stream, that all goes into your overall growth as a broadcaster, as a streamer, your overall growth as a content creator. It's going to pay off over time, but it takes consistency and it takes patience. And that's what a lot of people forget. A lot of people will get into content creation and start doing it, and after 3 months say, man, this is going nowhere, I'm out, you know? And it's not a 3-month process for most people. There's always an exception to the rule, I know. But for most people, it's a long process of consistency. There are things you can do to help speed that up, or at least to help give yourself an edge. And I've got a video up here that are 10 things that you can do to start growing on Twitch, or 10 things that will help you start growing on Twitch. So check out that video up here. I also have a video, if you're looking at streaming, you're wanting to start streaming, but you haven't done your first stream yet, I've got a video up here that I'll also link, which is the top 10 things you need to know to get started streaming. And then, of course, for my stream, if you want to know more about my background, you can also check a video that I'll put up here about like my story and how I started, because there's a lot that went into me becoming a broadcaster. But check out any of those videos. That'll give you a little bit more background on some of the details. But for the business side of things, it's really going to focus more on you being wise financially, using your full-time or part-time job to help invest initially into your stream, and growing that stream until it gets to the place where you say, I got 3 months set aside and saved up. I'm making enough to where after I save 25 or 30% for taxes, I still am able to cover my bills. Now I can go full-time. Now I can become a full-time content creator and pursue that and see how it goes. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked this video, smack that like button. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to smack that subscribe button. And if you want to know when the videos go live, smack the notification bell, and you'll know whenever the videos go live. I am on Twitch at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett almost every day, so don't forget to come check me out and follow me over there. Also, I'm on Twitter, and I try to reply to as many tweets as I possibly can, so jump on Twitter and let me know what's going on there. Tweet at me, and I'll try to get back with you. Instagram, I'm on a little bit less, but I need to get on it more, because that's one of my goals, is to be more active on Instagram. But you can find me at EagleGarrett on Instagram as well, and on Facebook, which it's there. It's there if you want it. So guys, come find me, come check me out. All the links for this stuff is in the description. I hope you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you guys checking it out. And of course, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that in the comment section below. I love you guys. Rock on. Peace out. God bless. And last but not least, cacao. Oh my gosh, dude. Somebody clip that. Bro, we just sniped that dude straight out of the helicopter. We said, no way. You are not flying away with that heli. There is no way, dude.